As part of the Micro-scale Irrigation Program, you as a district or sub-county officer will have to carry out farm visits. During these visits, you will have to record various data about the farm and carry out several measurements. This will include measuring elevation between the water source and the farm. To help illustrate this task, Ruth and Joshua are going to demonstrate measuring elevation. There are different tools that can be used to measure elevation: a dumpy level on a tripod, a hand sighting level, or a simple builder's spirit level. The key to understanding is that all these tools to measure elevation are based on a level line. Ruth and Joshua are first going to demonstrate measuring elevation from one point to another on an open slope so we can understand the steps and the concept clearly, and then they will go apply this technique at two different sites. They are going to use the most basic tools to do this: two people plus a measuring tape and a builder's level. Ruth and Joshua are going to measure the difference in height between where they are standing and the point where this beacon is above them on the hill. They decide who will hold the level and who will check it for the level line. For this demonstration, Ruth is going to hold the level, so they need to measure the height from Ruth's eye level to the ground to get the important base number they will use for their calculations. Their base number when using Ruth's eye level is 1.5 meters. Next, Ruth stands with the spirit level facing towards her end point, in this case the beacon, and Joshua checks that the spirit level is level with Ruth's eye height. This is correct when the bubble is in the center. This shows that Ruth is looking along a level horizontal line. Ruth must then identify a specific spot that she is seeing along the top of the level when the bubble is in the center. This spot will be their point A. Ruth and Joshua have now completed their first measurement. The elevation between where Ruth is standing and point A is equal to Ruth's eye height, their base number. Ruth and Joshua now move to point A to repeat the process. Again, Ruth holds the builder's level and Joshua checks it is level with the horizontal line by making sure the bubble is in the center. And again, Ruth identifies a specific spot on the hill that is level with her eye height. Ruth and Joshua move to point B to complete their second measurement. The elevation they are at now is 2 times Ruth's eye height, or 2 times their base number from their starting point. For a third time, Ruth holds the spirit level and Joshua checks it is level on the center line. This time they are very close, but just below the base of the beacon. This new point becomes point C. When Ruth and Joshua move to point C, the elevation or height difference between their starting point and point C is 3 times Ruth's eye height. For their last sighting, it is clear that this will be less than a full eye height, so they just estimate the height for their last measurement. The calculation to measure the elevation between their starting position and the base of the beacon is thus A plus B plus C, with each of these being Ruth's eye height plus the last estimated height. Since Ruth's eye height is 1.5 meters, the elevation change or vertical height that they have just measured is a total of 5 meters. When conducting farm visits, you may encounter a wide variety of terrain, slopes, and water sources but you will still apply these same principles for measuring elevation between the farmer's water source to the midpoint of the field they wish to irrigate. Let us assume that Ruth and Joshua are now on a farm visit. For this farm visit, they have decided that Joshua will hold the spirit level, so they will be using Joshua's eye height as their base number. And since Joshua is taller than Ruth, the base number for their calculations at the sites will be higher. Remember that your starting point will be to stand level with your water source. This means you may be standing next to a river, a stream, a pond, or a shallow well. When visiting a site, you might sometimes find that you cannot stand level with your water source. When this happens, use your tape measure to get your first measurement for the water source and then add this number to your total elevation calculation. This might happen with rivers or dams with steep sides or when wells are the water source.
190 to the stream.
From the top of this riverbank, the field is not that much higher than from where Ruth and Joshua are standing. Just one centerline measurement at eye height gets them to the midpoint of the field, even though it is some distance away. Remember that the point of your farm should be the middle of the field to be irrigated.
Total elevation is equal to 1.9 meters, first measurement of riverbank, plus 1.6 meters, eye height is equal to 3.5 meters.
Ruth and Joshua are now doing another farm visit. At this farm, the water source is a pond. Here, it is easy to stand next to the water source. However, there is hardly any difference in height elevation between the pond and the field.
This is definitely pretty flat.
In cases of low levels like this, where even one eye height goes above the field, you can simply estimate a minimum value of 1 meter as the total elevation.
Now it's time for you to measure elevation at your farm visits.
Work as a team and remember the basic principles. Respect the standard procedures of the Ministry of Health during the farm visits.